we move on from things that we are addicted to, things that we are used to. I can move on from this relationship, I can move away from this person. I am leaving and I'm leaving. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cheryl and this is Life from Bows. If this is your first time, we do lifestyle and makeup videos on this channel. So if you're new, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell beside it. I post weekly, sometimes twice a week, but currently I post weekly. And for my loyal subscribers, thank you so much for coming back to watch this video. I hope it helps you, and please don't forget to like, comment and share this video. So today we are talking about moving on. We move on from things that we are addicted to, things that we are used to. And sometimes letting go, moving on is very tough on us than we imagine. A lot of people haven't moved on properly, and that has a ripple effect on a lot of people around them. And so today, since I am a testimony of moving on, I decided to help someone out there with these 4 points that through my counseling, through my parents, and through my own experiences, I have come to realize that works. This particular points, I would not say is universal to everybody, but I think it's very essential if you begin. It's not the only ways by which you can move on. Yes, it's just from my personal experience and from counseling that I've been to when I was trying to move on from my past relationship. This is what I have come to understand, and I want to share with you guys. And also people have been reaching out to me for answers and maybe for a little bit of advice, and this is what I tell them. So moving on, like I said, move on from things that you're addicted to. So this video may be good for someone who is addicted to drugs, addicted to a person, or so used to the life the person has and the person cannot let go, and maybe been in a job for thousands of years, like 10 years, 6 years, 5 years, and you can't see yourself letting go or moving on from that particular person, that particular drug, or that particular job or situation. First, I want to talk about willpower. You can never do anything, or you can never move on very well without you telling yourself it's time. If you don't tell yourself it's time for me to move on from this situation, you can't move on, and that is willpower. People do a lot of things in this world. They don't fear God, and they think it's because God has given them the free will to do whatever they want to do, and so they engage in certain things, and that's willpower. They want to do it, and so they are doing it. And so that's why if you want to move on from a certain person, you want to move on from a certain relationship, a certain job, you need to have the willpower. You need to tell yourself that I can move on from this relationship, I can move away from this person, and you will. So once you don't have that willpower, like you don't have that power within you, whenever you see that, and whenever the person tries to bait you, or whenever you see something that even looks like it, you will think of yours or what you had and then go back. That is how come people stay in toxic relationships for years. I'll do another video on toxic relationships, but that's for another time. And yeah, so you need to have the willpower to tell yourself, I am leaving and I'm leaving today, or I'm stopping and I'm stopping today, or I'm moving and I'm moving today. You need to have that willpower to be able to say you can, and you should, and you will, and you must. Secondly, you need faith. I'm telling you, without faith, no man can please God. 2, faith is the evidence of things not seen. And so moving on most of the time feels like there's no hope ahead. Moving on feels like why, if like I'm so used to this thing, like I mean there have been happy times. It's not always been bad. I mean, it's not always been bad. There have been times where we've laughed and we've cracked jokes and we've talked about future. There have been times where I saw this job as my ideal job and it was paying me well. There have been times where this person was so good to me that makes that you will give yourself reasons when you don't have faith. to know that there's something better out there, to know that you deserve better, to know that when you leave this situation, something awaits on the other side. You need that faith in God, that faith in yourself, that when you move on, you're moving on to something better. I mean, you can't wish bad for yourself that, oh, this person was the best I ever had, so that means that when I move on to the next person, like, it's not going to be good. You can't wish that bad for yourself. You have to wish good for yourself, and that is faith. You don't know what's ahead, but then you need to have the faith that when I stop, when I move on, when I let go, I'm going to meet something better, and that will help. Point number 3 I would like to talk about is live without them. Or you can't live without them. Let me say it like that. You can't live without them. Do you remember when you hadn't met this person? Probably you were in turmoil or whatever, but then the reason why you want to move from this is because it's now not good for you. Yes. So before you met this person, before you got into this job, you were living. You couldn't have been dead before you met this person. You couldn't have been, you know, that much crazy before you met the drugs. So you were living without it, and now they came into your life for a period and they want to let go, or you want to let go because it's not helping you and your mental, like, you guys will always know that I say that always choose your sanity over everything. Choose your peace, choose your sanity over everything. So you can live without them. I promise you, you can live without them. I know why I'm saying this, because I'm a testimony to it. You can live without them. You can. They were in, you have to put in your mind that they were in your life for a certain period. They were in your life for a certain reason, which you have found out. Because when you think back into the relationship, when you think back into the job, you're like, oh, okay, so they were supposed to make me feel like, what I have learned from moving on from my past is that there's really actually happiness. Because I experienced some level of happiness in my past relationship, and so I'm not going to downplay it and say that, oh, it was all pain. No, I experienced happiness, but moving on, I had the faith to know that moving on would be the best for me, because the best is yet to come. So you need willpower, you need faith in yourself and in God, and you need to know that you can live without them. You need to know. And as you guys have seen, these 3 are all pertaining to yourself. As a matter of fact, the 4th one also happens to be about you. So you know that you need to start with yourself first. So the final point that you need is to love yourself. When I say love yourself, sometimes we are so used to being with someone for so long, you find your identity in them. Without this person, there's no this person. Like, we are like a team, like we are like a brand. So without me, there's no him. Without him, there's no me. It's like you become dependent on him, you become dependent on her, so much so that you forget to love yourself. Because you feel like, oh, you are in a relationship, and so like your happiness depends on each other, because you hear things like, I'm supposed to make her happy, I'm supposed to make him happy, and so you realize that the reason why you want to leave this relationship when you're watching this video is because you feel like it's one-sided now. Like, you feel like you are giving your all and he's not, or she's not. Loving yourself is understanding yourself, what you want, and making sure that yourself is happy. I mean, yeah, he took me out on dates, we went on trips, we went she made me feel like a real man, or or the drugs made me so high, I didn't have any cares in the world, and you have reasons why you have to love that thing, but do you have reasons to love yourself? If you don't, let me give you one. The fact that you are in pain, and the fact that you think you are not okay up here, makes you know that you need to change, you need to move. And that is why you need to love yourself that much to move. You need to love yourself that much to let go, because no one will do it for you. I'm telling you, I went through counseling, okay? at counseling, the counselor would say all sorts of things which really made very good sense, you know, very good sense. But because it's not what I wanted to hear, I come home and I'm like, oh, that's man. He is married with children. Me, I want to marry. You want me to let go just like that? Like, you're giving me reasons why I want myself to move out. Like, I don't get it. You know, he's married. He's having fun. He doesn't want me to have fun. I really love myself that much. Loving yourself is you can sit down, buy yogurt, put spoon inside, pour it in a cup, put in a spoon, and then eat it and pretend as if you are at Pinkberry, pretend as if you are at a waffle shop that are eating ice cream. Love yourself, because sometimes you are too dependent on the person, too dependent on the drug, and you forget to give yourself that love it needs, because you think that this person is supposed to love me, this person is loving me the way I want to. Have you loved yourself the way yourself wants to be loved? So before you, or if you are in the process of moving on, if you're in the process of letting go of this relationship or of this marriage, or I don't support letting go of your marriage, but anyway, this job, this life, these drugs, this addiction, this cigarettes, you want to let go, you want to move on from that life that is making you go crazy, that is making you not reach your full potential. These are the 4 things you need to start with yourself. The 4 things you need to start with you: your willpower, faith in yourself and in God. Know that you can live without it, you can live without him, you can live without her. And 4th, you love yourself. Love yourself so much that you will not allow anybody to hurt your feelings and get away with it. I'm not saying go and kill somebody. Love yourself to that extent that you will be okay without them. I promise you will be okay. I am okay, so you would be okay. So I love you guys so much, and I was feeling so nervous in talking about relationships, but a friend, about 2 or 3 people have said I should. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. If you have any contribution, please leave it in the comment, because it's not easy for some people. I am telling you, I speak to people on a daily, and I realize that it's all not well, especially with ladies. It's all not well. So I wish you the best. Stay home, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye bye.